So I am today announcing that I will resign as leader of the Conservative and Unionist Party on Friday the 7th of June. I will shortly leave the job that it has been the honour of my life to hold. The second female Prime Minister, but certainly not the last. I do so with no ill will, but with enormous and enduring gratitude to have had the opportunity to serve the country I love.
The defining goal of Theresa May's premiership has been to deliver Brexit, a task she has found impossible, with MPs rejecting her deal 3 times. The withdrawal agreement she's negotiated with the EU was criticised by both Leavers and Remainers. She was hoping to make a 4th stab at getting it passed by offering MPs a chance to vote on a second referendum. Where Brexit goes next is hard to tell. What becomes of the official Conservative position will also depend on who becomes leader. Labour, the main opposition party, accepts the referendum result. It wants a deal, but not May's. UKIP and the Brexit Party are both advocating a hard form of Brexit. And the Liberal Democrats, the Green Party and Change UK all want to reverse Brexit and want a second referendum. Live now to Tom Brooks, the Dean at Durham Law School. Now, with May stepping aside, who do you think will fill her shoes?
Well, the front runner, they tell us, is Boris Johnson, although the front runner in these things has never won. Theresa May was not the front runner to succeed David Cameron, but managed anyway. It's a very crowded field right now amongst the Tories. They say 17, 18, possibly more will come forward to throw their hat in the ring. Being head of the party makes you automatically Prime Minister. That'll be a prize that'll be too good to give to not have a try at. So I think it's a difficult one to tell. Certainly in terms of winning over members of Parliament, the party favourite, I think that is more split than the party faithful favourite. So amongst grassroots activists, Boris seems to be their clear number 1. Amongst those in Parliament, I think it could be a range of figures. Jeremy Hunt would seem to be the preference amongst most MPs, I am guessing, but it could be others, Dominic Raab, others. We will soon find out either way.
How can her successor, whoever it may be, break the parliamentary deadlock?
They can't. I think it's, at the moment, it's impossible. I think the only way they would be able to do. So remember, if there is someone who is kind of for a harder kind of Brexit, whatever that might mean, a no-deal scenario or something like it, they're going to have to get votes for that. And the one thing we know Parliament is in favour of. Parliament said no to lots of things, but the one thing it's most definitely for is anything but no deal. And so someone who says, oh, I'm going to put no deal back on the table, well, Parliament has said you can't do that and will resist that. So I think they will struggle, given the current composition of Parliament, to get anything kind of harder through. Plus, remember, no one at the moment who's put their hat in the ring, no one has said that they would have fewer red lines than Theresa May had for negotiating the Brexit deal. And that suggests that any type of different deal they would hope to negotiate wouldn't be any more favorable terms for trade, investment, services than Theresa May has had. And those who don't like the Irish backstop, and there's many in the Conservative Party that don't, still don't have any answer as to how they could have a borderless Northern Ireland, which they claim they want to have. So without a general election that changes the balance of power in Parliament, I can't see anybody having any change in Brussels, having any change in Westminster. I think we'll see more paralysis, and if anything, it'll frustrate Brexit even more, tipping things even further towards Remain.
Do you think that a new PM will go ahead and call for a general election? Do you think that they would dare to do that in order to legitimize their position?
Well, normally, people who become Prime Minister in this way want to hold a general election fairly soon to legitimize their role, but don't want to do it right away. They want to give it a few months so they can get their feet under the table and get things started. The problem with for whoever succeeds Theresa May is that they'll be taking over a minority government that does not have the majority in Parliament, and the only party who is helping Theresa May in principle get anything through, the DUP in Northern Ireland, have effectively rescinded their support. They have not been supporting the Prime Minister on a Brexit deal. So I think that a general election is normally not a clever idea for a new Prime Minister, because they don't yet have policies. They might only have just come get the keys to number 10, just have a team around them. They have very little time to design policies and so on. But I think the sooner they do it, the better, if only to change the arithmetic, to have more MPs if they are to win, to get through some type of plan. Of course, the other side is if they don't do something fairly soon, if they try to do some delay, that will mean that the legitimization of whoever that is, with, say, a new mandate to govern that might get somewhere with Brussels, they are not going to have much time between, end of July, August, and October 31st, when the current extension runs out. So if someone wants a better deal or the same deal or want to really threaten walking away, the clock is ticking already before the leadership contest has well and truly begun.
Tom Brooks, Dean at Durham Law School, thank you so much for joining us on the program.